Hello everyone from the Novedge team. Welcome to today's webinar, ArredoCAD Designer, finally a 3D design software for interior design. ArredoCAD Designer is the leading 3D interiors design software in Italy. It allows you to create any design or architectural solution thanks to its huge library of elements, more than 25,000. The easy and rapid use and the powerful rendering engine make it an irreplaceable selling tool to provide your customers with a photorealistic preview of the design solutions thought for them. Today's webinar presenter, Marco Andreani, is one of the members of Dinamica SRL, the software house that produces ArredoCAD Designer. He's an expert in visual communication and photography and has published various essays and articles in the field. And here's the Novedge catalog page where you can find ArredoCAD designers. Novedge is one of the largest online stores for design software, and we offer a huge assortment solutions of software that cater to virtually every designer's need. So come visit us at novedge.com. And for more daily software news and limited time promotions, pay a visit to the Novedge blog and follow us on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Coming up next week, complex surfaces in Rhino 6. Last but not least, today's webinar is free and is being recorded. So if you want to rewatch it, you can just head on over to the Novedge's YouTube or Vimeo channel. And now I'll pass the screen and the microphone to Marco, and very excited to see ArredoCAD in action today. Take it away, Marco. Oh, nice view.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to thank Barbara and the staff of Novedge for this opportunity. I'm Marco from Italy. We are going to spend about 40 minutes together, and I will let some minutes in the end to answer to your questions. What is ArredoCAD? Thanks, Barbara, for the introduction. ArredoCAD is a software dedicated to interiors, and inside you can find more than 25,000 of 3D elements of furniture, like kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms, bathrooms, and so on. Italian partner, Italian companies, and so on. Inside ArredoCAD, there is a rendering engine that is integrated in the software and that has been developed by our programmers. So we will see through a real project. I will start from the beginning, from the layout, and then I will insert floors, windows, furniture, and I will run some render to show you the main features of ArredoCAD and how ArredoCAD works. Now, this is a render that has been made with ArredoCAD. Just to show you, now you will see the same room with four different styles of furniture. So a classic one, a vintage one, and a modern one, and so on. Just to explain you that with ArredoCAD you can create any kind of customized solution for your clients. Okay. Then here we have other renderings. Here, for example, you can see a kitchen in a double version. You can see that the light that is different because with ArredoCAD you can also manage the lighting, so you can use sunlight, cold light, or natural light, artificial light, so you can show to your client different types of solutions. Okay, here is some other render of here you can see 3 different versions with 3 different kind of lighting and so on. Okay, now I enter in the first mask of ArredoCAD. Very important, but we will see this during the presentation. ArredoCAD can dialogue with other software. For example, you can also import 3D elements from SketchUp or from 3D Studio Max. You can import plans and layout from AutoCAD in DXF or DVG and so on. Okay, let's start with a project with ArredoCAD. So this is the first mask. Now I click on New Project. Here you can insert the contacts of your customer. So are not compulsory fields. So okay, let's press OK. In the next mask, I start to create my layout. There are different ways. I can start from zero, creating my layout, or I can use ready-made layouts like this that you see here. Let's choose, for example, this one. I can enter the dimensions of my walls. And then I can change the thickness of the walls and the height and so on. Press OK. Now, you can see that, sorry, just a second. Okay, here you have all the tools to create round walls, auto-square walls, or partition walls. For example, I could have a wall that is 4 meters far from the right side. I can change, of course, the thickness of my wall. I can enter the orthogonal mode and enter the length of the wall. And I could go on and I can realize I could create a whole apartment, but okay, for a double room is enough for today. Now, let's insert doors and windows. So I choose my working wall, and then I enter in the archive, in the library of ArredoCAD. I open the doors, and here you can see that you have a very wide choice of armored doors, internal doors, flush doors, sliding doors, folding doors, and so on. A sliding system, external wall or wall mounted, double or single rail. Okay, let's take this one, for example, just a double click. And then I can choose the material, for example, wood and glass. I can choose the panel, the type of panel, for example, this one, 5 panels, okay. The handle, for example, this one. And then I can choose, or I can change, of course, the size of my door and press OK. Now, I could also open this door. In this way, we will be able to see both the rooms in the 3D view. So I open it of 800 millimeters. Okay, now let's insert, for example, an armored door like this. I want it here, for example, and with a one click I can choose the handle, for example, I don't know, this one, interior opening, internal aligning, and then I have other options for display, graphic options, and so on. Let's press OK. Now let's insert some window. So I close the folder of the doors and I open the one of the windows. Here again you have any kind of window inside already available in the library. Let's take a 3-panel window. I want to insert it here. I can choose the position, the distance from the ground, the position on the wall. I can insert automatically a threshold and press OK. But here you also find French window, windows for attic, cartridge windows, sliding windows, and so on. Let's insert just a sliding window on this wall. Okay, the position with the threshold. Okay, now let's insert the floor. In ArredoCAD you find more than 15,000 of coverings. Of course, you can easily import JPG or BMP, so you can and reach the library of coverings. Here you find wallpapers, floors, marble coverings, wooden floor. Let's insert, for example, a wooden floor. Here you have a very wide choice. Okay, let's take this one, for example. I can insert it with just one click. So just a click inside the room, and I choose the direction, and ArredoCAD automatically cover the room with the floor. Let's insert another one, for example, I don't know, like this. Of course, I can change the size of my tile, for example, 900 and 900. I can apply a tile joint of 3 millimeters, for example. Just a click in the second room. I choose the direction and press OK. Okay, now I can already have a 3D view of my project, and I can move inside in real time in this way. Okay, with the mouse and using the tab, I can move in my project. Okay, let's also insert the ceiling automatically. Okay, and a background. I can import backgrounds from my library. I can download background pictures from the web and so on. Let's insert, I don't know, something that we have here. This one, for example. Okay, now let's go back in the first room. Of course, I can also move the background. I can change the position of the background and so on. Okay, now we can also insert a wallpaper here, just to show you how quick is the insert of the wallpaper. So I enter in the library, I choose the wallpapers that are here. Here you have a very wide choice, a lot of Italian companies that are our partners. So now, I don't know, let's insert one of these, one that we like this one, for example. Let me open the layout 6, that is for the wallpapers. Press OK, and again, just one click inside the room, and ArredoCAD automatically covers all the walls of the room. Of course, I can also insert wallpapers wall by wall by hand. Okay, and automatically ArredoCAD make the cut where he finds windows and doors. Okay, now let's start to insert furniture. So I enter in the archive of ArredoCAD. First of all, I choose a working wall. For example, here I could have a kitchen. Of course, sorry, another thing, of course, you can also insert any kind of architectural element. Let's make an example. For example, here, if I want to insert a counter ceiling, I can use, of course, the polygons, these ones, 3D objects, typology wall. I could insert one here if I want to create a stair or a false ceiling. I can quickly change the size of my elements. So, for example, I want it from here to here. We can also give a look in real time in the 3D view. Okay, and now I can change the size of this element with a double click. For example, I wanted 2 meters and 400, and the height could be 160, and press OK. And then I move it up to the ceiling. This is a way to create any kind of architectural elements. I also have another tool. For example, if I have a contour ceiling over the kitchen, okay, I will do a kitchen here. I can also have use the manually drawn element. So very quickly, I can draw my element. I can also enter the length of the side of my element. For example, 2 meters, 1 meter, and 1 meters, and then I close my area. I give a direction. The thickness could be 160. Press OK, and I can choose the distance from the ground. That could be 2540. And so I have created another shape in this way. Okay, you have different tools inside ArredoCAD to create elements like these. I also have architectural elements like, for example, here, if I enter in cutting polygons for walls, you find square niche, square opening in the wall, and so on, arch, and so on. For example, let's insert a niche here, or I don't know, on this wall. Double click, I insert my element here. I can set the dimension of my element. For example, the distance from the left is 100, the position from the ground is, I don't know, 1000, and the size of the element should be 300 and 300. Press OK. And then, of course, I can copy my element if I need. For example, I need 2 copies of this. The distance would be 400. And then again, I can copy these 3 elements again in this way. Or 400. Okay. So in this way, you can, of course, inside ArredoCAD, you also have stairs and any kind of other architectural elements. Now, let's insert the furnitures, and we can start, for example, with the kitchen. So I enter here in the model selection, and this is one of the most important parts of ArredoCAD, because here you find more than 25,000 of 3D elements already available, and you can customize them with materials, colors, dimensions, and so on. You find kitchens, modern and traditional kitchens, wardrobes, bedrooms, children bedrooms, cabin wardrobe, living rooms, bathrooms, and then the products of Italian companies like Catalan or Molteni or Floss, and so on. Let's start with the kitchen. Here in this mask, you can change the size of the cabinets, so of the base units, of the plinths, of the corner base units, of the wall units and tall units, and you can save your setting of dimensions, so you can recall it in any moment. Okay, let's press OK. And here there is another important mask. Here you can choose the colors, the materials of your kitchen, and the kind of door. This is a very important choice. You know that the door of a kitchen is the element that makes the difference between one kitchen and another kitchen. Here you have a so wide selection of doors, and this allows you to create any kind of model of kitchen from any kind of company you work with. Okay, and this is a database that we update each 2 times per year. So you can choose the kind of door, and here you find any kind of door. These are the modern doors, but you also have traditional doors. So you have a very wide choice. Okay, let's take a modern one. Okay, for example, I don't know, let's insert something like this. Okay, double click, and then I can choose the color of the structure or the kitchen. Here I have wood colors, light, middle, and dark colors, middle colors, and you have a very wide choice of textures. Of course, you can also import new textures inside the program. Okay, let's take this one. And as regard the door color, you have any kind of lacquer colors, glossy, matte, and so on. Okay, let's go on. Now let's start to design our kitchen. We want to insert the kitchen along this wall, for example. I open the base unit. I choose the height of my base unit. I choose the depth, and here I have any kind of base units available. So 1 door and 2 doors, with the glass, shaped doors, drawers and baskets, and so on. Let's take drawers and baskets, and here you have all the combinations of drawers and baskets available here. So for example, let's take, I don't know, this one. I just need a double click on the element. I want to start from here, for example, or from here, double click. And then let's insert a base units for hob and oven. Here we have a lot of choices. Let's take this one, just a double click. And then we could insert, I don't know, drawers and glass baskets, or I don't know, 60, another double click. Let's also insert, for example, a base for electrical appliances, for the dishwasher, for example. Let's insert this one. And then a base unit for the sink. So I can show you how to insert the sink inside the cabinet. Let's take this one. Okay, now let's close the base units. I open the tool units. I choose the height. I choose the depth of my tool units. And here I have any kind of tool unit available for dishwasher, oven, fridge, terminal tool units with glass, drawers and baskets, and so on. Let's take one of these, for example, this one. Double click. And then I can close my kitchen with an open tool units like this one. Oh, very important. All the elements of ArredoCAD are parametric. It means that if I need, if I need to change the size of one cabinet, for example, this one, I just have to make a double click. I choose another size and press OK. And very important, ArredoCAD doesn't stretch the element, but reveal the element with a new dimension. Now, have to move it. Okay, so let's insert some wall unit. So I close the tool units and I open the wall units. I choose the height, this one, for example. Here I need, for example, a plate rack double flap with a glass. This one, double click. And then let's insert another one, I don't know, for example, one door and two doors of 60, and so on, okay? It's very easy. Okay, let's insert domestic appliances and the hood. Here in the shared accessories, you find hoods of Elica, Falmec, Faber that are three of the most important Italian companies for hoods, or also generic hoods. Let's take Falmec. Let's choose design series. So let's take one that we like, this one, for example, or this. I can also insert an element manually. In some case, it could be helpful to insert it manually, like in this case, okay, over the cabinet for the cooking hob. And then let's insert the oven. So I open the domestic appliances. I insert the ovens. And here I have, I can choose the ovens of AEG, Bosch, Foster, Rex, Siemens, Meg, Whirlpool, and so on. Let's take Foster, for example, this one, double click. ArredoCAD automatically insert the oven inside the cabinet. The same for the cooking hob. Let's open the cooking hob so we can choose the size and gas, for example, and then we need, I don't know, SMEG. Let's take this one, press OK. I want it centered on the base. Oh, sorry, right. I have to insert the top before the cooking hob. So tops and plinths are inserted automatically. So I open the linear elements for kitchen. I open the tops. Here you have any kind of top available, unicolor, wooden, quartz and glasses, ceramic, marble, and so on. Let's take, for example, quartz and glasses, straight profile, ball profile, steel profile. Okay, let's take straight profile, double click. I choose the material, quartz and glass. I choose the color, I don't know, this one, and press OK. ArredoCAD will insert, I choose the thickness of the top, 35. ArredoCAD will insert the top all over the kitchen automatically in this way. Let's also insert a plinth. So I close the top and open the plinth. I choose the front plinth, aluminium, automatic insert, and we can insert the sink. Let's insert a sink. Here you have 1 bowl, 2 bowls, with or without the drainer, over the top, under the top, flush with top, and so on. Let's insert 2 bowls, center on the base unit, and a tap. So let's also insert a tab here. Generic tab, Jessie, Quadro, Nobili tabs, and so on. Let's take this one. Okay, our kitchen, we can see our kitchen in the 3D view. And I could already run our first render. Okay, here you can move in real time, and now I can run a render. So I choose the position, the point of view, okay, for example, this one, and then I just need to insert a light point inside my scene, inside my project. So let's take, for example, a quad light. A quad light is a luminous bar with the direction downward, upward, frontward, and so on. Let's insert just a quad light in the middle of the room. We can extend this element from here to here, for example, and now we move it up to the ceiling. Okay, and with a double click I can change the intensity of my light, the color of the light, and so on. Press OK, and now I can run my first render. So I enter in D-Ray, that is our rendering engine. I need D-Ray 3, the last version. Here I have to choose the resolution of the render, for example, 70% of the screen, the intensity of the environment light that comes through the windows. That's all. I just need to click on 3D viewpoint, press OK. So it is very simple. Also, you don't need to set the materials. Of course, you can also make the editing of the materials. But all the materials have been already optimized by us for the array, so you just have to run the render. Now, ArredoCAD is loading the scene. Now you will see a preview. Here is. Of course, the quality of the render will improve second by second. During the rendering process, you can go on working on ArredoCAD. So, for example, now I could go back to ArredoCAD, and I can show you, for example, I could start to insert some element here. For example, here I could have a living room. So I enter in the model selection. Now I choose a modern living rooms, for example. I press OK. Of course, I can set the dimensions of the cabinets and so on. The colors of the cabinets of my living room and so on. Let's press OK. For example, let's insert a sofa on this wall, for example. Here you have the complements, and you find 1,000 of elements, for example, armchairs and sofas, 2-seater sofa, 3-seater sofa, and so on. Let's insert, I don't know, this one along this wall. You can also move in the 3D view. I choose the color, leather, strips, United Micro, and so on. Let's take, I don't know, strips. Let's make strips like this. And let's move in the other room so we can see what happens in real time. Here is the second room. Okay. Now let's insert some cabinets in front of the sofa. For example, here. In the living rooms, you have modular units, but you can also build your. Now we see how to do. You can customize your units. First of all, let's insert a plinth. we choose the depth of the plinth and we insert it here. I choose the length of my print, for example, 2400. Okay, now let's also insert some drawer. For example, I choose the height, I choose the depth, I choose if I want wooden or glass cabinets. For example, let's take wooden, and here you have a very wide choice. So let's take, I don't know, 2 drawers like this one, for example. Double click, and you also see here the position of the drawer, okay, and I insert it here. Now if I have to change the dimension of this element, I just have to make a double click. Okay, let's insert an open cabinet like this one, for example. I don't know, let's take this one. I insert it here. And then I can also change the dimension of this element, and I can copy this one. I can make a copy of the first one. So right button of the mouse, copy element, and let's copy this from here to here. Okay, let's also insert a top over the cabinet, this one, for example. I insert it here. The length is 2400. Okay. Now here you have in the shared accessories you also find generic objects like generic accessories, sorry, like clocks, books, plants, vases, and so on. Electronic, TV, Wi-Fi, level. Let's insert a TV or level, like I don't know. This one, for example, and we want it in the middle. Okay, we could insert now a table for the living room. So tables, living room tables. Let's insert one, for example, this one. Double click. I can insert it also in the plan view. And so on. Okay, now I just want to show you how to create a customized cabinet. So for example, let's move on this wall. Okay, here you have hundreds of cabinets, but if you need, you can create your own cabinet using the components. So you can create your cabinet component by component. So for example, I take the sides, I choose the depth of my side, the number of modules, for example 5, double click, and I insert it here. And then I insert a ground, I choose the depth, and then I can insert a sky. Sorry, I have to move it from here to here, okay? And then let's insert a top. I choose the depth, and then I insert the top here. You already have the automatic snap, okay? So it's very easy to make a composition. I can copy this side from here to here, and now I will insert the shelves. So I open the shelves, and automatically I already have the snap for this shelf, okay? And I need one here, and another one here, and another one here, and again. Okay, let's see in the 3D view what we are doing. Okay, now I will insert a back panels, 5 modules, this one, and I insert it here. 440, okay, and I insert the doors, hinged doors, flush doors, sliding doors. Let's take, I don't know, wooden doors, and I can insert a wooden doors basket here, for example, and then automatically ArredoCAD apply the door on the cabinet, and then I need a wall unit, for example, where are base unit or wall unit, this one, for example, and I need one here. and so on. Now I could also make a copy of this element and make some change. For example, I could copy this one, and then I could move the doors, or for example, I want to move it from here to here, and so on. Okay. Okay, let's go back to our render. Okay, here is the first render that we have run. You can see that just after 5 minutes, it is not finished, of course, but it's you can already have a good preview of the render. You can save the render in any moment, okay, or pause it, or close it and save it, and so on. Oh, the very important how can I say, ArredoCAD, I always say that ArredoCAD is a marketing tool, okay? So once you have created your project, you can show in real time to your customers any kind of change. For example, your customer would like to see the same kitchen with another texture. So you just have to click on Model, Main Model Finish Table. You change the color of, oh sorry, we go back to the kitchens. Of course, kitchen. From the table, we choose another color for the doors. So, for example, we want the door of wooden doors, the same of, or this one, for example. I will do the same with the drawers. And in just a few clicks, you can show to your customer the same kitchen with another texture, okay? In the 3D view, of course. Here is it. Or I can change in real time the color of the sofa. For example, I click on the macro, I click on the sofa, modify color, leather. I choose the color of the leather, this one, for example, and I can change the color of my sofa, or for example, if I want to see another color for these cabinets, I can also select them in this way and enter in replace colors, and I replace the white with I don't know, gray, like this, for example. And in a few clicks, I can change the color of my cabinets. Oh, sorry, I have to, okay. Okay, I think that we have 5 minutes, I think, and finally, I would like to show you that ArredoCAD can also create panoramic renders, okay? So you can create traditional render like this, but here in the V-Ray mask, you also find panoramic render, and of course, I show you already made one from here, okay? So with the panoramic render, your client can move and walk through the project. And if you create one panoramic render for each room, you can also link the rooms so that you can move from one room to the other room. For example, we can enter in the bedroom. You can also insert some pop-up. These are JPGs that provide your clients with some detail of the elements that you have inserted in the project, or for example, here in the bathroom, we have a detail of the covering that we have used in this bathroom. So this is the panoramic render. We are also going to release a new version of ArredoCAD in which you will be able to export the 3D scene for Oculus Rift. So your client will be able to walk through the projects with the VR in a VR mode. Okay, and ArredoCAD, just to close this presentation and let some minute to your questions, also provide you with the technical prints of the project. So automatically ArredoCAD create the technical prints of the project. I mean that you have the plan with the layout with all the dimensions of the cabinet that you have inserted, and ArredoCAD create these codes automatically, and then we have a print for each wall. We also have the print of the kitchen, of course, and the layout of the top with the holes for the cooking hob and the sink, and the layout of the prints. You can export these prints in Windows Metafile, JPG, PDF, and so on. And automatically, you can also get a list of all the elements that you have inserted in your project. So here is it, and here you could also insert the price to have a quotation for your customers. So insert the price of the elements, and okay, the top, and so on. I can apply fees or discount, for example, discount, 5% of discount in advance of 900 euros. And this is the preview for my client with the description of the elements, the amounts, the price, the total amount, and here you find a resume of the fees, the advance, and so on. Okay, of course, these are the main features of ArredoCAD. As you can see, it is rather simple to use. Inside ArredoCAD, you also find a solid modeler. Now, just to show you very quickly, here, if we click on Draw Shape, you find a simple solid modeler that allows you to create round shapes, three-dimensional shapes, and so on. And as I told you, you can also import files from SketchUp or 3D Studio Max. For example, if I want to insert a lamp here, I can download it from the web, and then I click on, for example, Import SKP, Browse. Here are some elements that I have downloaded from the web. For example, let's take Foscarini lamp, open. Of course, the first time I have to import the object, but the next time I can save it in my archive, and then I can recall it in any moment. So let's move it here, for example, and let's see the same object in 3D. Now here I could apply a light. So let's take a spot, for example. Let's take a spot from the shared accessories. Light spot. I can insert a spot over my lamp, just to show you the last feature. I move it up to the top of the lamp. Okay, here, and I just want to show you how I can have a preview in the 3D view. Okay, so now if I make a double click, okay, let's close this one. I can enter in the setup. I can also turn off the halo if I don't want to see the halo, and then I can make a double click on the light. From here, I can change the intensity of the light in real time. I can move the lights up and down, okay, and also around in this way. I can change the color of the lights. For example, if I click on color, I can change it, and I can see the changes that I am making in real time, okay, in the 3D view. Okay, so these are the main features of ArredoCAD. Of course, there are a lot of other options. For example, you can make the automatic cut for the elements, or you can make the editing of the materials, and so on. But this, I think that this is a panoramic, quick panoramic of of the main functions. Also, a video manual is available here, so you have a lot of tutorials available in English also. ArredoCAD in 5 steps is a rapid guide, and then you have the chapters of the manual. For each chapter, you have different arguments, and for each argument, you have a tutorial that explains you how to use ArredoCAD. So I will let the word to Barbara for the questions and the
Yes,
conclusions.
Marco. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. ArredoCAD has landed in the United States, and thank you for
Yes.
choosing Novedge to represent you. That was beautiful. And I'm not a designer, but I'm a client, a customers of, architects and designer often, and I would really be convinced by those renderings. They're incredible. We have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Can ArredoCAD work with Vectorworks? Do you guys know Vectorworks?
No, you can import files in 3ds and SKP format as regard 3D files,
Okay.
or plans and layout in DWG and DXF format. So if you export from Vectorworks something in these kind of formats, then you can import these elements in ArredoCAD.
I think it should not be a problem at all. Good. And can you modify the size of the furniture?
Sure, yes, yeah. We just double click. So, for example, I don't know. Let's take just an element. For example, this table, okay, that we have here. Just a double click, and you can change it from here. So I wanted 1,200. I press OK, and ArredoCAD change the size of the cabinet. Or you can also use the option scale element, of course, and then you can change the size in this way. So you can very quickly change the size of each furniture.
That's great. I'm surprised to see how easy it all looks. So thanks for making something that it's really intuitive and very, very simple, but not but also complete. Can you tell us a little bit of the costs? Yes. If can I show something? Maybe I can show the page, the Novedge page, where we see the product. If you don't mind, Marco, this is it. This is ArredoCAD on our catalog, and this is the price, right? And there's yeah, this is that's the perpetual license. There's also the month rental or the year, and you can go on our catalog and browse and look for the solution that applies to your needs. And yeah, pretty cool. And it has its own render engine and the solid modular. This is a very complete product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and the main difference, we can say that the main difference between ArredoCAD and other modeling softwares like 3D Studio Max or SketchUp is that here everything is already available, or you can import it. So you just have to insert the elements on the elevation view or on the plan, okay? And the difference is that ArredoCAD is dedicated to interiors and or architecture.
Yes, and the huge library, impressive.
Yes.
So, well, thank you so much for today's demo. It was really, really entertaining, and thank you for attending. And I want to remind you again to visit novedge.com to check out ArredoCAD, and also, for latest promotion, software news, you can find us on social media, the usual suspect, Novedge, on Google Plus, Facebook, and Twitter. Next week, we'll have a webinar on the Rhino 6. And to rewatch today's webinar or previous ones, come find us on YouTube or Vimeo. Just type in Novedge, and we have a lot of playlists with lots of webinar for every software taste. Thanks again for joining us today from Italy, and thanks again to everybody who joined us from the rest of the world. Have a great
Thank
day,
you very much.
everybody. Bye. Bye
Thank you very
bye.
much.
Ciao.
Bye. Bye. Ciao. Ciao.